Joshua's faced a lot of criticism about having not fought in America yet and his seemingly unwillingness to do so. Now, Joshua's never said that he won't fight in America. In fact, I think if Klitschko hadn't retired, I believe the rematch probably would have been in America, and that would have made sense. But looking at the scorecards from Saturday night, I can understand why Hearn, Joshua, and any non-American would look to go there to dethrone an American champion. The scorecards for me were way off. Now the British guy, what was his name? Phil Edwards. He scored it 113, 113. For me personally, he didn't want to catch any heat, and he just sat on the fence. I'm not saying it. Yeah, he sat on the fence, and he thought the other two will probably give it to Fury. Let me do it 113, 113, and that saves me from it. And that's for me. That's the reason why he's been slightly swayed. But Alejandro Roshin, a Mexican guy, I probably pronounced his name wrong, but he's got Wilder winning the first 4 rounds. What fight was he watching? And this is why boxing is dying. Most of the Wildettes are not really a fan of boxing as such because why would they be a fan of Wilder? Because they think every fight should end in a spectacular knockout. Now, don't get me wrong, everybody loves a good knockout. I do. Most people who watch boxing do enjoy that. But what we really enjoy is how they set that up. I want to see a spectacular knockout with obviously a fantastic duel prior to that, where the person who ultimately won has positioned himself so to get that knockout. How boring would it be as if every fight, literally, you come out and everybody just starts swinging with their eyes closed, and 30 seconds into the fight, someone connects and you're out. Doesn't matter what anyone says about their chin. If someone that's 20, 18, 17, 18, 19 stones hits you flush on the jaw or on the temple or the back of the head or behind the ear, you're gonna pass out for the most part. Flush. I don't care. You can't train your chin to be able to deflect all blows. It's just not possible. If you take if you take that hit flush, you're gonna go down. You're gonna be knocked out. Or if you get up, they're gonna jump on you. They're gonna do it again, and you're definitely out. So why would Joshua give up home advantage to put himself in a situation where he could lose all his belts based on Alejandro deciding that the first 4 rounds he's lost when the other two judges have pretty much given 3 of the 4 of those 4 rounds to Fury? Why would you do that? Joshua has gone round and collected 3 of the 4 belts. Now, what Fury did against Klitschko was fantastic. He went to Germany. He was unfancied against someone who's pretty much reigned for the last 10 years. And he battered him. Not physically as such, but mentally more so. But he put on a great boxing masterclass. Absolutely, he deserved to win. But he beat one guy who had one bad night to capture those belts. Now they got scattered, and Joshua's gone around and collected them. So Joshua's had to beat 3 guys to get the 3 belts. Well, he's got 4 of them, but to get the 3 main belts. For me, that's a little bit more of an achievement. I'm not knocking what Fury did, because actually he's ignited the heavyweight division again by beating Klitschko. Could you imagine if Klitschko was still champion till to today? It was very, it wasn't exciting, not at all. It would not have been exciting as it is now, where we got 3 guys at the top, all undefeated, all vying for that undisputed crown. So I'm not knocking what Fury's done, but for me, Joshua is a bit more impressive in a way that he's done it, because every time he's come back to go win another belt, he's put his belts on the line. Fury went there empty-handed. He had nothing to lose. Nothing. He literally went there with nothing with an opportunity to take everything. Now, every time Joshua fights, he's always got that risk of losing it all. And again, I'm not knocking Fury, but he didn't defend those belts. You know, he calls himself the lineal champion. That's fine, even though that lineal line has been broken many a times. But he never defended those belts. And for me, if you want to consider yourself a true champion, you got to win that belt, and then you give that person that opportunity to win that belt back, and you beat them again. And when you beat them again, or you beat them so badly in that first fight that they don't even want to fight you again, then there is no dispute. In my opinion, your opinion may be different to mine, but in my opinion, that's how it should be. You go to the guy's backyard. Granted, you were the challenger. You beat him. Then you give that person opportunity to fight you again. Now on your terms, on your home grounds, and then you beat them, and then no one can dispute 10, 15, 20, 30 years down the line whether or not it was a lucky win or an off night for the person who lost. You beat them twice, back to back, or within that same period, or closely together, and you won convincingly both times. Fighting in America is very risky because, for me, if the heavyweight division is popping, then boxing is popping as a whole. So it's very important that you hold on to that heavyweight division belt from an American perspective, because they're still under the illusion that it's the center of everything. Yeah, Vegas, for me, is still, the pinnacle. Don't get me wrong. But that's more from an historical standpoint. It's not a necessity. That's a big difference there. It's not a necessity. Joshua has shown that you can make good money not having to go to Vegas. Absolutely. Also, it depends on what motivates you. I mean, if I was boxing and I'm making 20 to 30 million pounds a fight, I'm okay, I'm good. The opportunity to make 40 million a fight, I mean, how much more am I prepared to potentially make to give away the advantage of being at home? For me, you're potentially going to lose more money because you've got more chance of losing in the United States, which will then hamper your ability to make money in the long run anyway, because you're no longer a champion. So for Joshua to go to Vegas, and let's say he does make an extra 30 million then on top of what he would normally make, but then let's say he lost, surely he would lose more than 30 million that he made by no longer being the unified champion, and then having to go to the back of the queue again and maybe wait another 2 years, 3 years before he's positioned himself again with all the sanctioning bodies to be able to get a title shot. And I know that's highly likely because he's most likely going to have a rematch clause, almost obviously he will do. And let's say he wins it again. But let's just say worst case scenario, he doesn't. Then what? He's lost more than what he gained from going to Vegas. So it doesn't make sense. I don't know what we can do about the judging. It's a hard one because in other sports, it's a lot more definitive in terms of the scoring. You scored a goal in football, it hit the back of the net, it crossed the line, it's in. There's no disputing now. Or if it's an NFL, they got the replays, did it cross the line? Yes or no? It's in. It's a touchdown, it's not a touchdown. There's no real argument. In golf, you either putted it or you didn't putt it. There's no did it go in or didn't it? So it's quite difficult when it comes down to the preference and the perspective of the person watching it. Obviously, watching it on TV, we get all angles, slow-mo, sped up, HD. We get all of that. Whereas if you're on the ringside, you get one real-time look at it from one fixed angle. So I'm not saying it's easy, but they need some sort of help. I don't know. I think it maybe an option is you have more than the 3 judges. Maybe we up it. Maybe we go to 5 judges, and then we can afford to have maybe one judge who is clearly on the take, or just for whatever reason just fancies the other fighter and favours the other fighter more than the other one. and then we got another 4 judges that should sort of counter that. I don't know. It'd be interesting to know what the alternatives are, because I don't think it works in the way that it is. It shouldn't come down to where you're fighting. It should come down to who's the best. And now there's so much. You can lose a fight and go into the fight knowing that you're gonna probably lose this unless you knock this guy out, just based on the venue and the country that's holding the fight, and and that can't be right. That can't be right.